Hello everybody, it is Friday the 28th of June. I haven't made a video in a week or so because I was extremely sick. She came down with COVID and it was extremely unpleasant. I'm still not completely over it. Still rather wobbly, but I'll try to get this video out today. Right, now whilst I was sick and when I could be up, I was watching a lot of videos by Paul Wallace and Mauro Biglino, I think is his name. I can never get that right. Talking about the Bible and talking about the fact that it is talking about aliens, alien entities, which I'm absolutely with by now. Yeah, I've said for the longest time that the God of the Bible, the Lord God of the Bible, is not talking about the all or something that is all, but a distinct being. And in that respect, no different from us. Yeah, they may have knowledge, they may have different knowledge from ours, but they're not all, definitely not. So I've been following videos talking about more like ancient aliens, gods kind of thing. And then it came to me that we mustn't go too much into the form then and lose hold of the spiritual side of things, because it still holds true. So one thing I heard Paul Wallace say, where I thought, oh, here we go, was that he said in the Bible it said God creates man in its image, saying that, he looks like God. It's in his likeness, he looks like him. And that is actually not what it talks about at all. And then you're losing hold of the spiritual dimension of this, and really you do not understand what it is you're looking at when you can see something. You're not of sound judgment. I want to talk about this. So when God says, let's create man, and again that's a level of consciousness, in our image to our likeness, and God itself is spirit, is thought, is emotion, it's desire, it's an intention. That is God. Yeah? Then really what it says is let's make man to think like us, feel like us, be of the same intention as we are. Yeah? And then the godly ones, they don't have, it doesn't matter what you look like at all. Any kind of form can become spiritually that. So they do not look like each other. I would go as far to say they don't even have to be the same species, as long as they are one in the spirit of that God, in the intention of God, in the mind of God. They're all in the same mindset. And that is what it means when God says we make man like us in spirit. Because naturally we would not be like that. Our thoughts and our emotions usually function a bit differently. Yeah, but most of us do not wake up in the morning with a burning desire to take over the world. Yeah, that's not naturally us. But we can be made into that. And then we become like the likeness of all the others that are already in that happy band of man, or reptilians, or whatever other form there might be in there. As I said, they can be completely different species. And as in this world, when you see that we say they are not bound by countries, by cultures, by skin color, by anything like that. They're not. The form does not matter to them. What matters is if they are of the same mind, of the same spirit. And then, doesn't matter what you look like or what your background was. You will bring knowledge to the intention, to serve the intention. And in this world, again, we see that cultures in different regions brought forth different knowledges that was unique to themselves. Yeah, so they bring something unique to the whole, to serve the whole. But as long as they are of the same mindset they're in. That's why I say we must not lose hold of understanding on the level of spirit, because it's hidden inside of the form. Now in this world, the form is created through the material. Yeah, it is carbon that gives you your form. But the spirit inside the form, more than often we cannot read it. And in this world, they are dressing up the form in pomp and ceremony to make themselves look elevated, to make themselves look greater, to make themselves look beautiful. Yeah, they speak words that sound loving and great, only the outcome is not what they say it will be. Again, you went by your five senses, you did not see the true spirit behind everything else. Now, here's the thing. If we go now, which I think we do, we go into a greater awareness. We were in that awareness before humanity was. We could read things beyond the five senses with our energy body, and I think we're going back into that ability. So people are starting seeing things and they're starting to freak out. Now, what I was thinking about especially was the reptilian forms. What is it we're actually looking at? Yeah? So if somebody describes a person, either they see a reptilian form attached to that person, in which case I think they're just seeing the energy body. They're seeing both the material and the energy body, yeah? Which is the form given by carbon and then the spiritual truth, which might look a bit different. Or they may full on see the spiritual truth as the person, and then they see a reptilian person in front of them. Now, what again, you're still judging by sight then, because you may have read the energy, but it's still creating a form and you're judging by the form. So I was wondering what gives, why people see reptilians. It is something that is contained in this world, so we're likening it onto something we already know. We're feeling something. And we give it a form of something that would make us feel in a similar way. So reptilian, the way you feel if you see a reptile, it's like it's cold-blooded, that's what we say. Yeah, not very emotional. So that it might be that association that gives it the form. Or I was thinking, again, I'm going back to Jacob and Esau. Yeah, Jacob being of Israel, that is more head knowledge, not very emotional. Actually going more into the state of being a psychopath, yes, emotionally detached. Whereas Esau was the hairy one. Yeah, again, that is the woolly mammal that is operating on more the emotional knowledge. So a reptilian, again, maybe more toward psychopath. But here's the thing, there are plenty of psychopaths in this world, does not necessarily mean bad. They're functioning in a different way, but that does not have to make them bad, or not every psychopath is a mass murderer. Yeah? It gives them a very unique perspective. As I said, emotionally detached, purely on logic. Yeah, and that will create a very unique knowing. And again, for a psychopath to give up his knowledge to the whole, yeah, you would have to treat that with some caution, obviously, because to be in the fullness of rational knowing, the emotion has to be there to bring its input. But they can function within society, because what they lack in emotional knowing, they can make up through knowledge of the law and choosing to stay within that. Yeah? So no, reptilian would not necessarily mean bad. But the thing is, if we are now being told, oh, there's reptilian forms out there, yeah, that are enslaving humanity, we are being driven into the same kind of judgment that we're in right now. You have to judge by the form. And then again, we will be divided in completely the wrong way, because I have a feeling, and why not? As below, so above. There are plenty of reptilians that would be on our side, that are not in agreement with what is happening, you know, with this Lord God that wants to have dominion over everything, with this, they were all one in the one spirit. Yeah? They are not part of that. But here is really learning to discern good and bad, not by sight, but by spirit. How do they think about things? How do they, feel about things, if they can't feel about things? And what is their vision, and what is their overriding intention? How this thing should go forward. And then those that are of the same spirit are the same. And only when we can do that, in this world, doing away with skin color, culture, creed, whatever, do away with that. Just be of the same spirit, and everybody will bring a unique knowledge that will serve this thing going forward. And then in the wider cosmos, if we get aware of that, apply the same principles. Just because something looks reptilian does not mean it's bad. Just because something looks beautiful and angelic does not mean it's good. It does not. It may have a beautiful form, but it can be as rotten at the core as you like. So, yeah, in order to no longer be deceived, we need to be able to judge on the level of spirit. And then know our brother, and know those that are against us, no matter how beautiful they might look, they're not. Not inside. Right, anyway, here I leave it at that for today, and I talk to you again soon. Bye.